I'm not stepping into that studio to play nice while he drowns me out with his voice. If he's itching for drama, he'll get it. My way, on my schedule, the next week. The pace picks up, producers buzzing with urgent calls, topic drafts flying, in schedules flipping last minute. Gwen, the show's producer, sharp and relentless, kept homing in on one thing: free speech on college campuses. "We'll kick off there," she'd said, eyes glinting. "Everett's obsessed with it." Karoline smirked. Obsessed? That's one way to put it. The team jetted into Philly on a crisp Wednesday morning, early March, snow clinging to the ground in patches, air biting with that pre-spring snap. Karoline stayed quiet on the flight, headphones on, scribbling notes, marking up pages. She wasn't prepping lines. She was forging steel in her spine. Touchdown in Philly, straight to the hotel. Lyle slid her the final rundown. "They're expecting a tame chat," he said. She didn't look up. Then they invited the wrong guest. No venom in her voice. Just clarity, cold and certain. That night, she FaceTimed her little brother, fresh off a campus protest in Austin. "People think volume equals victory," he said, exasperated. Karoline nodded. "They'll figure it out." Before hanging up, he tossed her a lifeline. "Don't let him shake you. Answer the question, not the noise." That stuck. Next morning, she was up early, slipping out to a quiet cafe near Rittenhouse Square. She liked watching strangers in unfamiliar cities, a guy with the Atlantic and coffee, lost in his world. A nurse in scrubs grabbing breakfast, smile-weary, construction guys ribbing each other about traffic. No one knew her here. That steadied her. Back at the hotel, Gwen texted, "Cars at 3:15, live at 5. Everett might say hi first." That might said it all. He wouldn't. Karoline didn't care. In her room, she dressed with purpose. Navy blazer, cream top, subtle makeup, her grandmother's silver pin. She met her own eyes in the mirror, breathed deep, and flicked off the light. The car ride to the studio was smooth, but she had no clue how wild this was about to get. The building loomed, glass stretching up to the clouds, all sharp edges and gray reflections. The studio sat on the 12th floor, hidden behind a lobby that smelled faintly of coffee and hand sanitizer. The driver dropped her and Lyle at the side door. A production assistant, all nervous energy, met them. "You're early," she said, rushing them through security. "Good. Everett's in a mood." Karoline's lips twitched. "That's new?" No reply. The elevator hummed up, dinging past floors. Lyle broke the quiet. "If he gets personal, pivot. Don't feed his fire." She nodded, eyes on the numbers ticking to 12. She wasn't here to match him. She'd set the tone herself. Doors slid open to a frigid hallway, polished concrete underfoot, walls lined with framed shots of Everett mid-rant, yelling at a senator, smirking. Over a Facts First mug, a woman in a headset intercepted them. "Green room 2, Everett's finishing a call." The room was sterile. White walls, 2 stiff chairs, a tray of water and protein bars, a monitor flickering with the live feed. Everett's voice crackled through. "If you think banning speakers helps kids, you're delusional." Karoline didn't sit. She studied him on screen, smug, rapid fire, teetering on mockery. She knew his type. Arguing for the spotlight, not the win. The door swung open. "Well, well," a voice drawled, New Hampshire's renegade. Everett Lane strutted in, black blazer, white sneakers, that half-fake grin plastered on. "Didn't think you'd show." She offered a hand. "Why wouldn't I?" He shook it, limp. "People like you usually hide behind tweets." Lyle tensed behind her, but Karoline didn't blink. "Thought I'd give your audience a reason to stick around." Everett's brows shot up, sizing her up. "Careful, you're edging toward confidence." "I'm there," she said. He chuckled. "Short and sharp, let's keep it civil, huh? You talk, I talk, we all leave in one piece." She held his gaze a beat longer. "Bring better arguments than last week, or this'll be quick." A flicker in his eyes. There and gone. He turned to Gwen, who'd slipped in unnoticed. "We good?" Set, she said. Live in 12. You're across from Karoline. Campus speech first, social media next. Everett nodded. Keep her mic live. Gwen's smile tightened. All mics stay on, Everett. He winked and sauntered out. Karoline glanced at Gwen. He always liked this? More than I'd prefer. In the final minutes, Karoline sank into her notes, watching the countdown glow on the monitor. Her pulse was steady, alert, alive. Lyle caught her eye. Ready? She grinned. He's not as smart as he thinks. But as the lights blazed on and Everett settled in, no one saw how fast the tide was about to turn. Studio lights hit hard. Bright, sterile, hotter than they seemed on TV. Her chair sat at a slight angle from his, a producer's trick to spark visual friction. She smoothed her blazer, squared her shoulders, and glanced at the countdown. 5, 4, 3. Red light flared. Mike's live. Everett pounced. Welcome back to the Everett Lane Show. I'm Everett, and tonight, Karoline Leavitt's here, ex-White House pundit and a megaphone for the free speech crowd. She smiled, unfazed by the jab in his tone. He barreled on. Let's dive in. Karoline, you've claimed campuses kill independent thought. What, students can't protest speakers they hate? She leaned in, voice calm but firm. Shouting someone down isn't protest, it's a tantrum. When schools let it slide, they're not shielding kids, they're coddling chaos. Everett barked a laugh. So no outrage allowed? That's bold. From a side that flips over pronouns. The room tensed. She didn't bite. Outrage is fine. Silencing isn't. Strong ideas don't need a gag order. They stand alone. He leaned back, gesturing grandly to the camera. Let's not kid ourselves. This is about amplifying your echo chamber, then crying censorship when pushback hits. She cut in, not loud, just perfectly timed. And you're curating debate, not defending it. You only love free speech when it props up your lens. Everett jolted forward. I'm not drafting laws on what teachers can say, Karoline. Nor am I? She fired back. But let's talk admins axing events over hurt feelings. That's not learning, that's a script. A shadow crossed his face, not fear, but a flicker of doubt. She wasn't folding. He pivoted. You've made a name, whining victim. Oh, they silenced my speaker, while pushing rules that choke real academic freedom. Her tone held steady, a blade wrapped in velvet. I've seen students escorted out in tears, threatened by their own peers for showing up. If that's your freedom, Everett, recalibrate. The studio hushed, cameras whirring, air humming faintly overhead. Lyle, offset, didn't blink. Everett flashed a tight grin. So it's about feelings now? No, she said. It's about fear. If you can't spot the gap, maybe that's why you're still playing this like a circus. The control room buzzed in his ear. 2 minutes. He tugged his mic, grasping for footing. Plainly, Karoline, are you saying the left's out to kill free speech? She tilted her head. I'm saying it's not random, it's a playbook. And the twist, it's old news, just remixed. Self-styled rebels running the show. Everett blinked, laughed thinly, trying to reset. Okay, fiery start. After the break, she slid in, smooth as glass. One question first, Everett. Do you ever let a guest finish a thought before rewriting it? He froze. I thought I did. Roll the tape, she said, still smiling. Before the cut to commercial, he glanced at the booth, and it hit him. This wasn't his script anymore. The red light died. No chatter, no water breaks. Everett stared ahead, jaw locked, tapping his cards like a nervous tick. Gwen's voice hissed in his ear. 90 seconds. Karoline sat still, not gloating, not fuming, just watching. He finally turned. Done stealing my show? She shrugged. Done monologuing over a dialogue? No reply. 60 seconds, Gwen snapped. A tech adjusted her mic. She didn't flinch. The air felt charged now, hers to command. 30, Gwen called. Everett tried a glare. I'm not the bad guy here, you know. Her face didn't shift. Saying that doesn't erase accountability. He exhaled hard. 10 seconds. Live again. His voice tightened. Welcome back. Karoline Leavitt. Here, convinced free speech is dying. Let's dig deeper. Social media bans. You think companies owe you a megaphone? She leaned in, grounded, real. When the digital square shapes elections and kills stories without a trace, yeah, we've got trouble. He smirked, eyes cold. Misinformation, you mean? Exactly, she said. Like when they twisted your words and you fought back with videos. Should that have banned you? He hesitated. That's different. My content. They didn't care, she pressed. They guessed and acted. That's the flaw. Refs with no rule book. He dodged. Their platform, their rules. And if your bank locked you out for your takes? He laughed, shaky. That's absurd. It's a slope, she said, low and lethal. Everett fumbled, glanced at the booth. Clip ready? You didn't ask, Gwen shot back. Rattled, he tried. So what? Total free-for-all online? Accountability, she said, to each other, not CEOs. Lies? Call them out. Fight with better ideas. Don't padlock the ring. His knee bounced under the desk. She pressed on. You rave about democracy, but you back systems that choke dissent. That's not defense, that's rigging the game. He waved her off. You've said enough. No, Everett. She cut in, calm but ironclad. I haven't. You invited me for sparks. I came for substance. Don't like it? Let me finish a damn sentence. Dead air. He pivoted to the camera. That's our time. No, she said again. You dodged my question. Which? He snapped. Do you let guests breathe or just spin their words for your show? She softened, piercing. Because if it's the latter, is this an interview or a solo act? He stared, lost. The booth went mute. Everett froze. Eyes on the monitor like it might save him. Karoline waited, letting the quiet swell a tide he couldn't outrun. The crew stood still, no cues, no cuts. He coughed, forced a grin. So Karoline thinks guardrails are the enemy. Noted. She replied, gentle but firm. No, Everett. The enemy's when mic holders pretend they don't have the power. That stung. His chair creaked as he shifted, face tightening. He wasn't used to this, losing the wheel on his own stage. Well, he tried. Some of us live in media, Karoline. We know what's reckless, what's right. Responsible, she said. Would have been hearing me out instead of cutting me off. That broke him. He shoved back, yanked off his mic, muttered something garbled, and bolted. Everett, sit, Gwen barked, too late. He was gone. Earpiece. Swinging. Karoline turned to camera 2, now framing her alone, and spoke steady. If walking off beats listening, maybe we're not the fragile ones. The room crackled. Everett vanished behind the curtain, crew scrambling after him. Lyle, backstage, muttered. Holy hell. Gwen in the booth growled. Stay on her. Let her talk. Karoline straightened. This isn't red versus blue. It's about whether tough questions make you a target, whether we can clash without a tantrum exit. A few crew nodded. She went on. Yell, leave, or stay, and prove your ideas hold water. That's the adult move. Someone flipped the live feed online, raw, unfiltered. She glanced at Everett's empty seat. I came for a real talk, not a circus. Guess we needed it more than I knew. She stood, handed her mic to a tech, and walked off. No drama, just done. The cameras caught it all. The shift, the spark, a moment words couldn't tidy up. Out in the hall, her phone erupted. Texts, calls, emails piling up. Lyle caught her at the elevator. You good? She nodded, scrolling. What's the buzz? You're viral. X, Instagram, clips everywhere. Someone subtitled his walk-off already. She blinked. That quick? Quicker. A producer eyed her from across the hall. Curious, cautious, silent. Downstairs the garage air hit cold. I didn't mean to torch him, she said softly. You didn't, Lyle said. You were real. That's what shook him. Back at the hotel, headlines screamed, Karoline Leavitt holds firm. Everett Lane crumbles live, the shift no one saw coming. Some cheered, some raged, some called it staged. But the clip kept spreading, dissected, quoted. Gwen texted Lyle. Everett's mute. Don't crow, Karoline laughed. Wasn't going to. Later, alone at her desk, she replayed it. Not his. Exit, but the quiet before, choosing restraint over volume. That choice flipped the script. Her brother texted from Austin. You stayed put. That's the victory. She typed back. Didn't feel like one. It did to millions, he replied. She gazed out at Philly's glow. People living, unbothered by TV spats. Yet online, a real conversation sparked. Not just politics, but power, voice, who speaks, who shuts it down. Everett's line echoed, some of us work in media. Maybe that was the snag. Too much stage, not enough ears. Karoline didn't have every answer, didn't crave the spotlight. But she knew this. Next time someone tried to drown her out, they'd recall this night. She didn't shout, didn't storm. Off. She made them run. And sometimes the quietest stand rings the loudest. The takeaway? Control isn't courage. The strongest voice doesn't roar. It cuts through steady when the chaos spikes. If this hit you, if restraint's power clicked, stick around, there's more coming.